Drunk driver! No drunk drivers. Is this thing on? How to identify a dirtbag part 4. If you recall, on my part 3, I ended with stating the question, is a cheater a dirtbag? This was months ago. Perfect topic, perfect timing. As I come across Mr. Derrick Jaxn's material, he seems to be a man whose primary audience he caters to women. And he's giving them game, he's giving them advice, pulling the curtain back behind certain men or men actions. The one mistake, because I haven't watched many of his videos, I just did a brief overview just so I can somewhat educate myself on the material and the content that this man produces. He did one mistake. He villainized men who cheat. That is the one thing he messed up at, and now it's coming back to bite him in the you-know-where. Let's get off into it. Is a dirtbag a cheater? Now, in my previous 3 videos pertaining to dirtbags, I don't know if you all have noticed, I left off cheating as a dirtbag. Let me explain to you why. You know I'm gonna give you that knowledge, I'm gonna give you that game. Give it to you raw and uncut. You may not like it, it's just the truth. It coincides, it is in relation to reality. My answer is no. A cheater is not a dirtbag. If you have been paying attention to my previous videos, I state a dirtbag is a man who rapes women, who physically abuses women, who sexually molests children and women, who lays up in your house and do not contribute or abandons his child. That's what I consider to be a dirtbag. I did not have cheater on there. And of course, I know the women are gonna say, oh, typical of a man to leave off cheating. Of course, he's a man. What else he's gonna say? Let me break it down to you. Logic. Everything that I just named before that I identify to be dirtbag behavior, that leaves long-term ramifications for the person that it has been executed against, meaning rapists, child molestation, sexual assault, physical abuse, child abandonment, laying up in your house and don't contribute. That is long-term ramifications. I'm not saying that cheating, there are no ramifications with cheating. It does break up the household and all that other stuff, but you can also co-parent. There are things that you can do to alleviate the effects of cheating. Another reason why I say cheating is not a dirtbag behavior is if you do comparative studies. Would you rather you talk to someone who has been raped and ask them, would you replace being raped or would you rather just have someone cheat? I'm not saying it's good to cheat, but I'm just doing a comparison. Follow me now. Would you have someone being physically abused or being cheated on? Would you have someone have a child with a man and then he abandoned his child and you, or would you have someone cheat? Would you have someone lay up in your house and do not contribute, or would you choose cheating? I know that's a bad example, but it ties into my next point. I'm not saying cheating is good. Compared to what I listed before, cheating is at the bottom of that list. Also, cheating does not mean, this is what I mean and tie into my next point, you can be a cheater and not abandon your child. You can be a cheater and not lay up in someone's house and not contribute. You can be a cheater and not physically abuse. You can be a cheater and not sexually assault women and children. You can be a cheater and not child molest. You can be a cheater and not rape. There is no correlation between cheating and any of those behaviors. Now, cheating is bad. It just means that person is not compatible for a relationship. That is it. They're not compatible for a relationship. I am not gauging the amount of pain. I know it hurts. I know it sucks. It's terrible. Nobody wants to be cheated on. I am not stating that. What I am saying is cheating does not make you a dirtbag. You can still be a great father and also be a cheater. I am not condoning that. Once again, I am not condoning cheating. But if a man happens to cheat, that does not mean they are a bad father. Yes, they made a mistake in the relationship. Yes, it may cause you to part and do separate ways. But you can also co-parent effectively. There is an effective way to co-parent, which is better for the child. You're not in a relationship with that man, but that man still can be a great father for that child. Now let's get back to Mr. Jackson's story. And I'm just using him as the figurehead. This is not me bashing him or any individuals like him. When I first came across that story, the first thing that popped in my head was, what else did you all expect? These are to the people who are bashing this man. What else did you expect? He's a man. Let me say that again. He is a man. And I'm going to explain why I say he is a man. And after I explain, now you can figure out why I'm saying the things that I'm saying. If there were no laws to combat rape against women, do you know it would be hell on earth for you women? Think about this. It's common knowledge that rape is illegal. We're talking about in this country, that it is illegal. Yet, that does not stop men from raping. There's plenty of people who have been locked up for raping. If this law, of course they have a law, they know about it, yet they still continue to do it. What the hell you think men are going to do if there were no law against rape? It helps. The law helps. I'm not saying it don't help. But what the hell you think, what would happen? These men out here would be running amok on you all. You wouldn't be able to go to the grocery store by yourself. You would need to travel in packs. I'm just going off of the timeline of events. You constantly hear about rape. Most women have been sexually molested. Well, I want to say most. There's a high percentage of women who have been sexually molested, even though we know it is illegal. What if it wasn't illegal? What if that was legal? Mathematically and logically speaking, those numbers would go up through the roof because you're dealing with man. Let me bring it back to you even further. If you study any type of timeline of events, of how things came to be, way back in the day, thousands upon years or whatever that is, you hear about war. As men, these are men fighting each other, trying to conquer land. They're pillaging, they're looting, raping, robbing. These are men doing this. Men, male. From the beginning of time, been war, fighting, rape, robbery, stealing. When you think of those things or what has been passed down, or not want to say passed down, when you study his story or just a timeline of events, men are leading They are the main character in those stories, in those events. What makes you think man has changed? Those things that trigger in a man still exist because I am a man. Now, I'm not saying that I will do the dirtbag stuff. No. But I know what testosterone brings. Heightened sense of aggression. Heightened sense of sexual and all that other stuff, activity. That's what comes along with that. And then you have men out here who have not been mentally groomed to adapt to society so that they can control those things or put a limit, put a cap on those things, right? You got all of that going on. Now, here go another point. So when I hear women, I'm not bashing you all, I'm just giving you all the real stuff. Saying, oh, I want a good man to lead me in whatever. Submitting to the man. Oh man, that's a big one. After all the stuff I just named, and all the crazy qualities that come along with man, you supposed to submit to that? You gonna submit to that? Educate yourself. Educate yourself. You don't have to submit to no man to make it work. Educate yourself. Submitting to a barbaric man. When I just told you, if there was no law, it'll be crazy out here to prevent rapists, child molestation, all these other things, right? They have men out here that will do that. Yet you want to submit yourself to a man. See, they're not telling you the real deal on man, on the psychology of man. I be hearing the story, oh, he's just a friend and all that other stuff. What you think he over there doing? You really think he your friend? Now, I'm speaking in general terms. I don't speak in absolutes. General meaning an increased percentages, meaning, a high percentage of maybe this will occur. I'm not speaking in absolutes. Absolute thing, only thing absolute is you're going to live and you're going to die. That's absolute, 100%. Outside of that, I'm speaking in general terminology. But when I hear, especially I hear women speak about man and the way they do, I'm like, man, do y'all really know who man is? I'm not saying it is all hope is gone for man in general. Let me give you some game on how to combat this. You don't want to be cheated on, all those things. You want some real insight, some real intel, right? This is why man is important in the family figure, because a family member, particularly a father with their child, he shouldn't be molesting the child, doing all this stuff, want to rape the child, want to verbally abuse the child, all that stuff. He should be the one giving you that game, letting you know it's wolves out here. It is wolves out here. He should be that one. Maybe another family member. So when I hear women say, oh, I don't need a man, get away, get away, get away, get away. Okay, now you have subject yourself to the natural environment. What's out there in the natural environment. I just named all that stuff that men are around here are doing. You need to figure out how you can identify some of those habits and also get a better understanding on what and who is a real man. Not the fairy tale thing. The cheating part, you can, like I said, you can combat that by getting game from a family member, a male in particular, because he can give you inside information on how a man moves. So when I read the story about Mr. Jaxn, I'm like, yo, what the hell did you expect? He's a man. Let me break that down to you. See, in his line of work, his primary audience is women, and he caters to them. And I'm not saying everything he has told women is wrong. Just follow me. His primary audience is women, thousands of women. So he has a lot of notoriety, right? And within his rise to fame, or within that notoriety, He's been coming in contact with women because that's his primary audience. A wise man once told me, a man is only as faithful as his options. I'm not going to say you, I ain't going to tell you the wise man is because I'm throwing him under the bus. But it's some real talk. He said, let me say that again. A man is only as faithful as his options. Generally speaking, I'm not saying all men cheat. For me to be like, okay, that brother don't cheat, they have to remove themselves from that environment. Meaning, not even entertain, only go but so far with a woman. See, if he got a lot of women friends, I don't know. I'm not accusing you. I'm just saying, I just know how men get down. I just know how men get down. Now, let me break that down into a real life terminology so that you can understand when I say he has to remove himself from those options, right? Got to remove himself from those options. So let's say I just love playing basketball, or I have the urge to play basketball. For me not to play basketball, I must not step on the basketball court. And in order to do that, I need to stay away from those basketball courts. If I have the urge to play basketball and there is a basketball court right up the street, right in my backyard, eventually I'm going to cave into my urges. It is right there. It is accessible. This is why I mean, yes, there's men who don't cheat, but typically they move in a manner to where they are not even make themselves accessible to women or certain women. That's how that goes down. But that's a whole other subject matter because it does need further explanation. But to stay on the topic of the title, no. A cheater is not a dirtbag. They're bad at relationships. They're not compatible with you in a relationship environment or a relationship in general, right? But that does not mean that because you're a cheater, you're still going to be a rapist. You're still going to be a child molester. You're still going to be someone who physically abuses. You're still going to be someone who verbally abuses. You're still going to be someone who will abandon their children. You're still going to be someone who lays up in your house and do not contribute. That does not mean that. You can be a cheater and not do any of those things. That's why I say cheating is not dirtbag. And once again, for you all who are surprised by Mr. Jackson's actions, hey, like I said, a man is only as faithful as his options. So if you're dealing with primarily women, chances are he's going to slip up. That's just what it is. That's what happened. That's what happened. This is not male bashing. So to my brothers out there, hey, if you're solid, you get where I'm coming from. Some of you all have daughters. So you might want to appreciate someone who's putting themselves out there on a limb, giving you that real deal, right? Somebody got to do the dirty work. I don't mind doing it. I'm a man myself. I'm giving you insight. My agenda is get the numbers up so I can do what I got to do pertaining to these laws. That's pretty much it. I do not care if you like me. Let me give you real life examples. That's two, man and woman. I don't care if you like me. Let me give you some real life examples. Anybody watching this video, ask yourself, when was the last time I asked you for permission for something that I wanted to do? Let that sink in. Ask yourself that. When was the last time I asked for permission for something that I wanted to do? Let me give you another example. Ask yourself, when was the last time you have stopped me from accomplishing my goals? You can hear a pin drop. I'm asking. So when I say I don't care if you like me or not. I'm siding with reality and I'm giving you the real. I'm giving you the real. Now to combat some of the stuff that I told you about the deviant nature of man, reach out to a family member, and particularly your father, or a family member who you see move in a certain way that's going to give it to you real. They can give you that game. They can give you that knowledge. That way, when you're out here traveling the real world, you can sidestep some of this nonsense, some of these pitfalls that women tend to continuously fall into. You're falling into it due to lack of knowledge. Let me give you a real life example and then I'm going to be out. I keep saying real life example because any and everything, for the most part, that is talked about should be able to be explained in reality, meaning something you see day-to-day life. So when I'm saying when women fall in, when they, you know, in these pitfalls and these traps, especially with these relationships or bad relationships, and I'm saying due to lack of knowledge, the real life example is, let's say if you're walking down a road and in this road there are pitfalls, but you don't see them and you just walk and you fall right into the pitfall. Why? Because you didn't know about it. Now, let's say same road, but somebody had told you, hey, you go down that road, over here by that tree, there's a pitfall. Go to the other side of that road and you'll be all right. And then you do that and you avoid the pitfall. This is real life examples. This is real life terminology. Now, I'm not saying everything is as easy as that, but knowledge is key and it will help you out tremendously within relationships and learning to identify dirtbag behavior, because that game that they run, that don't work on no man. It's a reason why. This is the last one. It don't work on men. All that game they run, that talking. Oh, he make me feel so good on the phone and all this other stuff, and then he talked his way into your life. None of that stuff work on man. Because if man try to run game on another man, that's when it becomes physical. See, they don't want that smoke. You go out there as a man, try to run game on another man, it's gonna be smoke. He gonna take offense to that. He gonna peep it just like this. And they don't want those problems. Man don't want he don't want problems with another man. Trust me. This is why men need to be involved in your life. Men don't want problems with another man. See, they do all big and bad tough with women. Oh, when it's dealing with another man, oh, they change their tune. They don't want that problems. They don't want that smoke. I'm telling you, that's real life examples. Stop pushing these good men away or whatever, thinking you don't need man. You need that knowledge. Just like women need that knowledge. I mean, men need that knowledge from women. It is meant to work together, not independently, together. Right? All right, I'm done with my rant. Hopefully you all have learned something from this. And yeah, knowledge, jewels, game. I'm giving it all to you straight. Giving it all to you straight. Till next time. Peace.